and then it was all over the floor. You know what I mean? Oh, we're live. Sorry about that. Good evening and welcome to SAFC Fan TV and another edition of the Sunday Bunch with myself, Philly. We have Michael Bowers. Have you had a good day, Michael?
I have. That was a mad enough start without the mad mistake here. Goodness me.
There you go. Dino on the end. Dino, you had a good day?
Nah.
Well, not really.
Nah, just down the dumps, mate. And I didn't even want to be here, but I thought
he was miserable when we got to the house, so you know.
Terry's not available. I see you've broken that now as well, haven't you? Terry's not available tonight, so we've had a substitution. And young Jack Dodds is here. Jack, you had a good day, mate?
Didn't out really, to be honest. So
done out really, to be honest. So right, fair enough. Right, okay, just very quickly, let's get the housekeeping out of the way. We are sponsored by the OneFootball app. Fantastic football app. Every fan should get it. And of course, it'll keep you up to date with all things Sunderland and literally any other team. All the major teams are on there as well. You can keep up to date with all the latest news coming out of your club. Dino loves it because it's got all the stats to each of the players. And you can download it for free in the description there's a link in there in the description below. You messed that up, didn't you? And thanks to OneFootball for sponsoring the channel. So there you go. So lads, I'll tell you what, we are live, by the way. So if you want to join us in the live chat, you can do so. Do you want to read some of them out? Just say hello to people.
yes, well, hello, Robert Foster, Mark Rodham, the Black Hat Podcast. That's Carl Mawson, Kieran Gale, Aaron Evans, Antidepressants Mackham, DJ our friend, David Walker, Rufus of Badgers, Isaac Green, and Tony Lee saying strong lineup tonight, Monkey and the 3 Vs.
He did say, Tony sits along from me at the match and he said, oh, he's on tomorrow. So I told him, he went, oh, Monkey and the 3 Vs. He said, can I say it? I said, why? So well,
say what you want.
Right, well, before we start, I did go down to Blackpool on Tuesday for the game, cracking game as well. And you can't go down to Blackpool without getting Andre somewhere, getting a Prezi for the lads. All right, so red and white as well. Some Blackpool rock for you.
You are
some Blackpool
very
rock for you.
kind.
And some Blackpool rock for you. Terry, I've got some for you. Conrad, I've got some for you as well. So there you go. All right. So don't need it all at once.
Karen will have a wonderful time with this.
All right. I want to say a massive thank you to the Black Cat Podcast, who already have donated £2 via the super chat. Can we have a round of Michael Bowers? Michael Bowers. It's just good evening, lads. So thanks to Carl and the team down there. And of course, don't forget, they are another YouTube channel. They're not rivals to us. All of the Sunderland YouTube channels are all part of the YouTube family, and we wish every one of them well. So let's start then with Sunderland 3, Wycombe Wanderers 1. Everybody is buzzing. Great result. Michael, overall team performance for you?
Once we took the lead, I felt we were controlling the game. I think the opening 10-15 minutes, I thought that Wycombe was showing more aggression, a little bit more intensity. But once we showed 2 moments of quality within the first half. I was just watching the goals back before we came on air, and I was just admiring the header. Put it that way. Jack used a different term off camera, but there you go.
I accused you of something.
You did.
What a grass.
I'm trying to make you look crap on air.
What you do in your bed sheets, Michael, has got nothing of my concern.
There's my point. Anyway, obviously, use that one. You mean this one? There you go. I'll use this one. Use the broken one. Anyway, the cross from Embleton, really, really good. Ross Stewart accurately placed header into the far corner. And obviously, the goal from Embleton, fantastic outside the box. I think that was the moment where the tone of the game really set and it settled us down because we had started quite nervously. After that, I think we dealt relatively comfortably whatever Wycombe threw at us. Bear in mind, these are a side that were unbeaten going into the game, as Wimbledon were against us last week. And they've come down from the Championship. They've obviously got some good players for this level. Sam Vokes is one of them. just to name one. But yeah, we certainly for the latter stage of the game, good team performance. You can't ask for much more than that against the side who's come down.
Right, fair enough, Michael. Just very quickly on the chat, Marianne Trolls there says, hi to these handsome guys.
Oh, that's nice.
Not going to say hi to Dino, like.
We'll get you booked in the Vision Express, Marianne. But thanks very much for your kind comment. Marianne and Carl Taylor over in
Boston, Massachusetts.
Good man. All right, our friends over in the States says, hi lads, and Jack, a great win yesterday. Winchester.
Hi lads, and Jack.
I'm not one of the lads.
Jack's aside. I know he doesn't matter.
I'm one of the lasses, apparently.
Yeah,
Someone not telling me.
Great win yesterday. Winchester's been my man of the match in 3 games this season. Fantastic in this position. We are going to actually get onto that. DJ Earth is there as well. DJ Earth, who does our match previews. The match yesterday, Jack, 3-1, nice, comfortable win. Overall performance?
Yeah, well, I thought we actually quite struggled really until we got the goals. I think when we got I think it was after the second goal, after Embleton's, we just kind of settled down. I don't know what it was. I don't know if we just seemed to come out of the game and not really look ready for a game of football, if that makes sense. And I don't know if it was Wickham being particularly good or if it was us, being not so good. I think, to be honest with you, we just didn't really look ready and prepared. We looked a bit all over the place. Players didn't really look comfortable on the ball and stuff. But I think once we got those 2 goals, we settled into the game. And I think we allowed our quality to show a bit more, and we didn't really play in the Wickham's game of like kicking each other to bits and fouling and time wasting and stuff like that. And I think we were just, we allowed to control the game a bit more. And to be honest, I think I've really picked up on recently is just how good we are when we're like on the ball. Like, I think as a team, I don't know what Johnson's done, but it seems as if when one player moves into a certain area, makes a certain pass, everyone else is just so in sync and knows exactly where to go, who to show for, which runs to make, and things like that. It just seems as if we're linking up really well as a team. And I thought as the game went on, we only got better and better at that. Got the 3rd goal in the end. Just to tie it up, and now we're conceded at the end really, but we're watching it back. I think me and you were both kind of in agreement.
Well, and a bit lucky, not to mention the game was done by that point.
Yeah,
I think what you were kind of alluding to was I think that Wickham was probably the first team that I really saw tried to have a go at us a little bit.
Fair point.
Whereas like you look at someone like Wimbledon, their tactics were basically. They had one good chance in the first half, but the main was frustrate Sunderland. Whereas Wickham tried to frustrate us, but in a different way because they were trying to force us on the back foot. They were trying to force the ascendancy a bit more. But yeah, I mean, we still dealt with it well enough. They're going to be thereabouts this season. They've got a good manager as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think as of about maybe 20 minutes in the game yesterday, you would have thought this is a side that's like going to be top of the table playing, probably one of the lower sides really. I think that's probably as of the second goal going in. As for the one we conceded, I mean, it was just a bit unlucky, I think, really. And people have switched off at that point as well. And, you can kind of afford it, really, when you're 3-0 up after a performance like that. But I think it says a lot that when the club put on Twitter saying they vote for your man of the match, I had absolutely no idea out of the 4. And I think there were probably other players who could have been in for a shout as well. I mean, I don't really think you could call it was that many really strong performances. Yeah, I thought everyone was good yesterday.
Right, well, we'll come on to that in a second anyway. Nigel Dunn referring to me buying you all a present whilst I was in Blackpool. My mum said, never take sweets from strangers, Phil. Well, there you go. Good job. I'm not a stranger. Tony Lee, Dan Neal should be the first name on the team sheet.
Making a claim for that.
Absolutely, without a doubt. That's a fair point.
I think you should change his name to Danielle, embrace the Brazilian inside of him.
Right, fair enough. And we'll just brush over that. That crap comment. So Dino, even you, the Doominator, is always miserable, down in the dumps. Even you must have been upbeat after yesterday's 3-1 result. Yes,
I don't think I've actually been very negative about any of the results in any of the games we've played so far. Even when we got beat, I was really positive. I mean, I think the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes we were under the cosh, but I think that was due to Wickham just coming up with. I mean, that Sully Kai, who played for Blackpool last season, who scored that screamer, he was belting down that right-hand side, giving was it Cirkin playing left back all game?
Yeah, it was Cirkin.
He was bombing down that side. That was where the only attack threat really came from that right side. But when we nullified him, they didn't really have much. And obviously, we scored from literally nothing because we hadn't had a chance. It was probably our first attack where Embleton gets down the right side and whips it in. And Ross Stewart with a brilliant header. I mean, he's just an all-round great footballer. I mean, I think Ross Stewart was unbelievable. Yes, he was all over the pitch making tackles in the box, and I'm chuffed for the bloke. if anything, he should have had his hat-trick. He should have had a hat-trick yesterday. I mean, Embleton coming into his own, doing a trademark Embleton goal, killing it in the top corner. We've seen him do it for Blackpool. He's finally done it for us. It was a lovely link with 1-2. I thought Gooch was really good in the first half. He was getting past his man every time. He was making actually good decisions on the ball instead of just trying to take everyone on. I thought he was really good.
Well, we'll come on to individual players after this now and then.
Well, I'll just finish off there.
Yes,
I mean,
you will.
I mean, the goal we conceded. I mean, it's a deflected goal. I mean, it's unlucky for Patterson. I mean, to be fair, when the goal went in, the players looked devastated. It was like we just lost a clean sheet. I seen like normally you think 92nd minute, people are like it's like you just think, oh, it's going to the last minute. But I seen players with hands on their head, gutted that they actually conceded a goal in that manner because it looked like they really wanted a clean sheet. And
it's like an overall ticking of the box thing. It's like 3 points, 3 goals, clean sheet.
Well, what you've just mentioned, though, the good thing is that the players have raised the standards for themselves to say, look, we wanted a clean sheet. But as you said, it's a deflected goal. We were unlucky with that. And to be fair, we got a deflected goal in midweek against Blackpool. The second O'Brien goal was lucky. So,
but I think
just come forward a bit there.
I think
devilishly good looks. So sort of.
The only thing I'm a
That's
bit.
the only reason I've put a tune in.
The only thing I'm a bit disappointed about, we should have had a penalty. Ross Stewart should have had that penalty.
Yeah, we should have done like
it. Should have been. It was a Stonewall penalty. I thought the referee was a bit shocking yesterday, but other than that, positives all around. And I really want to change my prediction. What I said at the start of the season for Sunderland.
Do you know?
I do. I think we'll go top 2. I've seen enough. I think the team's good enough now. I really do.
You know where we're at. You know where we're at right now.
Where?
We are top of the league.
Top of the league.
And there you go on. For anyone who's deaf, Michael's written it down on a piece of paper.
Yeah. And what we're going to do
Pepsi
is
sponsors toasting top of the league.
we're going to get some crayons for Michael next time. Then he can colour it in as well. All right. But you've not to go over the line.
Glad to see those membership fees are going to good use.
Right. Just very quickly, the Black Cat podcast. Did anyone hear that Charlie White scored a goal?
No, he didn't.
He did in training, apparently. So there you go. From Carl. And while we're on there, Carl, who's bought another super chat for £2. Thank you very much. Anyone for Fan TV is welcome on the podcast. Thank you very much. Trying to squeeze it in, though, Carl, is always difficult, but I'm sure we'll try and sort something out. Just on that score, by the way, if you do want to support the channel, it's all gratefully accepted. All the money goes to help us to create better content. There's a few ways you can do it. There is the super chat, which is available. There is a $sign at the bottom of the live chat. Just click on that and you can select the amount you would like to donate. You can do that. And also we have our members club, which you can join. And in fact, all the members so far, we'll scroll them across the bottom. There you go. It's $1.99 a month, which is less than 50 pence a week. If you would like to contribute, that would be gratefully accepted. And it does also give you your members badge access to emojis and some members only content on there, including Jack's blooper, which he's still highly embarrassed.
Whatever that's about. Remind us, what happened?
No, let's not go there. But if you are a member, you can have a look at that.
If you want to watch that video, you've got to pay the 50 pence a week. It's as simple as that.
Also, before I forget, because I forgot to do it on Thursday, we are looking for someone to join the team. You might notice that DJ Earth has recently come on board with us, and he does a match preview for us before each game. We're looking for somebody who would do a match review. So after the game, just a quick 5, 6, 7, 8 minute video. Sounded like steps then, didn't it?
5, 6, 7, 8.
So somebody will do us a quick vlog, and we'll get that on the channel. So if you think you can do that, and you're the person, with a bit of oomph and excitement in you, and you could do that, then all you have to do is just send us an email, which you can send to, when I find it. There you go. Our email address, we'll stick that up there. SAFC Fan TV 73@gmail.com. So if you think you could do that for us, do a match review after each game, get in touch, and we will take it from there. So then, standout players. Dino, you was on a bit of a roll there when you was trying to name every member of the side. So, who was your star man?
Starman, I mean, like you say, there was loads of them. I mean, Carl Winchester looked
Are you
great.
going to go through the same?
Yeah,
again
no,
as well?
just the ones I thought really stood out. I thought Carl Winchester stood out. I thought Dan Neil really stood out, and so did Ross Stewart. But out of all of them, I mean, I give Carl Stewart last time, even though he played really well. I'm going to give it Dan Neil. Carl Winchester, sorry, Carl Winchester.
Stewart.
I don't know who
Combining
that is.
two
I know who that is.
all over again.
Carl Winchester. But I'm going to give it to Dan Neil. I thought Dan Neil was tremendous and it set up the third goal for thing.
Is it not Ross Winchester?
On Neil
Do
Diamond.
you know what? Do you know who I think's having a really bad time at the minute? He's the best player on his game. For me, it's good to see that it's good to see that all the players are stepping up because McGeady isn't at the minute. So when McGeady finally hits some form, I mean, like you say, Ross Stewart stepping up goals, Embleton and stuff like that. So when McGeady finally hits form, will be dangerous. But at the minute, he's probably one of the worst players in the side.
There was a comment on the live chat a few minutes ago. I think it was Toppy McCormick, 100% showing who commented, but something along the lines of good to see a lot of creativity coming through the middle. But I think we've been forced into doing that because I think so far this season, it was Toppy McCormick. I think Gooch and McGeady have been quite poor in terms of the chance creation. Gooch has had some all right moments there, but his end product is lacking. It's that hesitation in the final third. And McGeady, I just think he's trying to complicate everything. He seems to have lost that mental sharpness. Almost kind of like to make a decision, he seems to want to go past the player and then another, and ends up just kind of losing the ball. But I think, like you say, the likes of Embleton and Neil, probably the main two, have really stepped up in terms of the creativity. But to be fair, I think it's easy when you've got a player like Stewart up top, not White, so when it get about the pitch a bit more and win a few headers, make a few runs to bring players into play, whatever. So he's not just going to kind of, roam around the box looking for a tap in, really.
Right. Fair enough. I wasn't listening to that. I was reading the comments. Was it good what you said?
Well, you can watch it back, Phil.
That was entertaining. Sorry about
Rewind it.
that. Starman for you, Michael?
There's a few candidates for that. I think before I highlighted, I think it was Carl Winchester. Tom Flanagan, I thought had a really good game. And
He's good for the team, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right, okay then. Dan Neil, Elliot Embleton. I think obviously you can't look at past Ross Stewart. He got 2 goals, but I think in the
You
general...
haven't mentioned Manoni.
Well, I want to be mentioning Manoni, but whether we get...
Can we give Pritchard a shout? He came on for the last 3 minutes or so.
Ran himself into the ground for 15 minutes. If I had to pick one player who I would think... Are you wanting the man of the match?
Well, a star man. Man of the match.
Okay. For me...
Man waiting in the sky. Right, go on, sorry.
For me, if I had to pick one...
We're only on an hour, man.
Don't worry. Right,
I'm going to be back here for Thursday Night Live in a few days, man.
No, I'm talking next week, Sunday bunch, man, if we're even doing one. If I had to pick one, probably Carl Winchester, but I think that it's a very close call. I think that what I will know on the midfield, actually, funny enough, and I know that a lot of people, not just on here, but across other platforms, have gone on about the midfield. The midfield's so much more mobile this season when we've got forward-thinking ones with Embleton and Neil. When you look at when we had Power and Ledbetter and Scowen, when you've got the different types of midfielders, the ones that are looking for a pass that can link up with other players and get forward, it's so much better. And Daniel and Elliot Embleton are really growing on me as players. I think they're really stepping into their own. And the sooner we get them tied down to longer contracts, the better.
No, I forgot to mention that Scowen was actually on the pitch. I didn't realise he was on the pitch.
You know what? I was the same because
Absolutely
I realised going into the game. Oh yeah, he started against us. Then afterwards, during the game, I didn't notice him.
He got a yellow card. I only realised when he got a yellow
If
card.
there's any player that could epitomise Wycombe Wanderers as a football club, it's Josh Scowen, though, isn't it? Just like
because a lot of their shots yesterday were wayward, and then he's the epitome of wayward shots.
No real technical ability on the ball whatsoever, but they'll just kick you to bits and run you into the ground for 90 minutes. And
yeah, he's a real rat, isn't he?
But my star man, I'm going to give it Embleton, by the way. I don't think I said. I'll give it Embleton.
Right, fair enough. Just very quickly, Emma Wilson on the chat says, thought Gooch had a good game first half yesterday. And I just want to say congratulations to Emma, who became a grandma yesterday. She was in the week. She saw her. Well done. Also, shout out to Marianne and Carl over in
Boston, Massachusetts.
Says, guys, I've noticed in the last 5 games, we've not had second half Sunderland consistent both halves. We did mention a couple of weeks ago that this new team, this attacking team we're playing, maybe that is the end of second half Sunderland coming out. So hopefully that is the way forward. And thank you for donating $5 via the super chat, Marianne and Carl Taylor. And of course, when we get enough super chats in and enough members, we will do a show live from Boston, Massachusetts, where we'll we'll invite you on if you'll put us up, put it all up. There you go. Right then, want to move on to oh, by the way, we've got 56 likes at the moment. We like to hit 100 likes if we can on a Sunday. You just gotta hit that thumbs up if you would. It'll take you a second. And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's free to do so. Yesterday there was an incident just on 30 minutes where Luke O'Nien went down like a sack of spuds, and nobody see. I mean, we didn't see. We saw him go down, but you're following the ball, so we didn't see it. And then at half time, I got sent the clip. So what we've done is I've sort of zoomed in on it, so the quality's not as good as it could be. But if you've not seen it as yet, this is the incident as it happened. Right. Right, here we go.
Right, play button there, Phil.
Right. So there you go. Down he goes.
There we go.
I'll show you again in case you missed it. Right there. And I will slow it down for you. O'Nien's got hold of him there, but then he swings round and punches him. When we saw it initially, we thought it was a punch in the face. But if you watch here, we'll stop it for you. There. And it's you can see actually he punches him in the shoulder. And down he goes, like we said. So that was the incident. And again, at the time, was livid, really, saying, "Why is it? Why is the guy still on the pitch? There's 4 officials there. They should have seen it." First of all, I'll ask you as a referee. I don't know. Will you give your opinion or not? Should he have been sent off?
I mean, I don't really think it takes a referee or any kind of official to say that, yeah, that should have been a red card. You know, if that doesn't happen on a football pitch, if that happens on the street, well, then it's assault. You know what I mean? I had no idea that this even happened until I think I saw people talking about it on Twitter or Facebook or something this morning. Then I've just seen that video probably about an hour ago when you showed us it downstairs. And you look at it and it's punched him. Like, fair enough, it wasn't a very hard punch, it was on the arm, but at the end of the day, punch.
The intent was there initially.
Yeah, exactly. So, I can't really sit here and say, I'm not going to cop the referees. The referee's probably not even seen it. That's probably. I mean, I'm sure if he did, he would have given him a card. But I presume that's the case anyway.
Yeah, I would have thought so. But the thing is, I mean, you probably know better than us. Can that player still be done for that afterwards or not?
I believe so. Yeah, I think it could still be sent off.
Could still get a retroactive ban.
Right. Okay. The other thing I wanted to say, I mean, at the end of the day, he's punched him, right? However, if someone punched you in the arm, would you roll around on the floor?
I think if there was a chance of getting an opposition player sent off, then potentially, but
But the thing is right? Well, let me put it to you all like this then. That's one of our players who's done that, right? Punched him in the arm, and I know at the end of the day it is a sending off offence, right? But was Luke O'Nien not wrong then to roll around on the floor? Because if you was in the street and somebody punched you in the arm like that, you wouldn't roll about on the floor.
You're missing a massive detail there. The detail is what he wanted a reaction from Luke O'Nien. If the referee turns on Luke O'Nien swinging at him, Luke O'Nien gets sent off. That's the intent. So if you're telling me if Cattermole got punched in the arm by that player, you're telling me Cattermole wouldn't have done anything.
I'm not saying. All I'm trying to do.
It was probably smart, if anything, of O'Nien to do that because it draws attention.
Yes, right. Okay, right. I know. See, what I'm saying is, right. If it was us with other players, you'd go, "What a cheat and all that." And
of course you would.
Of course you would. So what I'm trying to say is, was O'Nien wrong to roll about like he'd been?
No, not really. Because if he didn't punch him in the first place, it wouldn't.
So is that not cheating though?
No, you got punched.
Not really.
Well, Phil, to be fair, how many times have opposition players done that to us though?
No, listen. All I'm trying to do,
whether it's right or wrong, every other club has tried to do this to us at some point. So why shouldn't we do it back?
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But if he didn't punch him at the arm, we'd be having this conversation right now anyway.
Max Power, when you kept getting those red cards initially, I bet you that the majority of those were from players milking whatever challenge he did.
But no one who's got a reputation of being
exactly.
sent. Same when Cattermole first came to Sunderland, he kept getting sent off.
None of us can actually say, "Oh, it was a soft punch." We don't know how hard it looks soft. Before we know that's the hardest punch he's ever received.
Would you go down if I punched in the arm?
But the thing is, though, Luke O'Nine's got problems with his shoulders.
Sorry, Bristolian Matthew said he had punched him near his injury. So has he got a problem with his shoulder?
He's had a potentially dislocated shoulder that apparently could pop out at any given moment, which...
Well, he was wearing the strap on his arm.
They'll have known that. The dirty club, then, like, I hate them, mate.
Let's not forget as well. Do you remember, was it well over a year ago, I think, when we beat Bristol Rovers on the park, we beat them 3-0. Remember, Maguire got a reaction out of the play. I think it was called a go-go or something.
Bristol Rovers.
Bristol Rovers, that was it.
It was a go-go.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. But Maguire did exactly the same thing there when he was trying to have a tussle with the player. And I think going down.
He wound him up a little bit first, then a go, like,
because he
took the bait a bit
reaction out
and like hoofed him or whatever. Like
the point
halved
is,
him, and the ref saw that and sent him off.
The point is that, to be frank, O'Nine's a shithouse. In that moment,
Michael.
Yeah, he is. I don't care.
Wow.
That is the best way to describe him. Like
Michael Bauer.
I have had we've seen so many times in this league. Opposition players try to wind up our players and instead of getting on with the game, they try those sort of tactics. Now, yeah, I don't like watching that. I don't like seeing any player resorting to that to try and get a victory. But at the end of the day, if other teams do that to us, I see no reason why we shouldn't do it back. I think it's also less of a talking point because we were already 2-0 up at that stage. If we were 1-0 up or it was 1-1 or 0-0, we were losing, then we're probably going to talk. It's probably going to be contended more. But it just highlights the fact. I think somewhere, it might have been Dino, someone said this before we go on there. The referees and the officials in this league in general are just appalling, and Terry's gone on about it a lot as well.
But wait there, right? It's intent, right? You say intent. I've seen players get yellow carded for doing a tackle, getting the ball, but they say the intent is to wipe the player out, and they get a yellow card for it because they're saying it's intent, even though they win the ball.
But doesn't that show you how inconsistent the officials are at this level?
Well,
and we can say this. It sounds less salty because we've won the game.
Listen, less salty. The thing is petty with it is, I haven't got a problem with Luke O'Nine going down like he did, and he could have rolled around it out and what have you. And what I liken it to is because at the end of the day, the guy's throwing a punch and he should go off. And I liken it to the same way that when somebody's going through the penalty box, right? If somebody goes in and they fell them, yet they stay on the feet, 9 times out of 10, they don't get a penalty. So the idea is that they go over. Now, what I would like to see referees do is I'd like to see more referees give a penalty if people stay on the feet so that you can be felled. But if you can manage to stay on your feet, at least, you then could have the opportunity of scoring. But people feel they have to go down in the box to get the penalty. And I think it'll stop more people cheating, if you like. If that happens. So it's the same sort of thing. I understand why.
Can I just say though, right? There's 4 officials, right? There's the 2 lines from the referee and the 4th official, right? You're telling me none of them see the 4th official just stands there and doesn't really do much. Shouldn't he not have like a little iPad with the stream on,
Well, he's sat and he's watching the
he's just got
commentating on the game.
No, he's just got
doing a live stream.
He's just got the stream on because they went back to it in the 4th official can see. Well, if he's watching the official stream, they went back to the incident. And you could see him punch, and then he could say, "Well, that's clearly red card."
But that's not the 4th official's fault. The 4th official should be there doing things like that. Watch it back, and then he can, in the referee's ear, do that. Go on,
I think a lot of these things could be good ideas, but whether it's right or wrong, I think it all comes down to budgeting.
Yeah.
I mean, like the
budget for an iPad.
So obviously the Premier League recently installed, VAR. A lot of people are for, against, a lot of people are against it, whatever. But they've done that with the intent of we're going to try and improve refereeing in the league, and it's cost them a lot of money. But the Premier League is thinking, well, it can, whether you think it's done a good job of it or not, they've done to try and improve the officiating standards in the league. Now, one day that might come down to the Championship, that might come down to League One, but officials in League One and League Two aren't even full-time. They're not even professional. They've got other jobs during the week.
That's not the problem.
Yeah, they don't get paid enough money to make it their full-time job, which just shows, I think, that there's probably not really the budget there. Now, whether they would shift a few things about and maybe increase the budget for officiating in the AFL, I don't really know. But I think that's why those things that we're talking about probably aren't going to come true. These things.
The problem is that Leagues 1 and 2 don't attract the same level of interest.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the Championship gets quite a lot of coverage, and it's a well enough and known league. But the Leagues 1 and 2, the budget's going to be a lot smaller.
I mean,
I guarantee you, League 1's budget's a lot smaller than the Championship.
I mean, we go on all the time about how our attendances, more or less match a lot of Premier League clubs. In fact, beat a lot of the Premier League attendances week by week.
Championship clubs.
But then equally, you've got clubs like Accrington Stanley and Burton, Fleetwood, who've got 5, 6, maybe 10,000 fans max in the ground. Don't really get never really on telly. There's just not really like the money there to do it. I don't think.
Isn't this not a good idea then? Do you know how owners if owners want it so bad, why don't the owners just pay for it? So if owners want VAR in their stadium, them can just pay for it.
Again, the owners in League One are even rich. I mean, I know we've got KLD, but should that be his responsibility to pay for officials? And should he really be paying officials?
Shouldn't that money be coming from the FA?
Yeah, exactly.
That's where it should be coming.
I think it all comes down to budgeting. I think.
Let's not dwell on that. And just by the way, any kids watching don't drink sugary drinks. Drink water. There you go.
It's actually not got any sugar in for the Pepsi Man.
You see that? Maximum taste.
No, I'm not on about that.
What's
I said don't drink Pepsi Max. I'm saying don't drink sugary drinks. I'm not saying that was one.
All right. Can I just point out the main ingredient in the Blackpool Rock? You've already kindly gave us is sugar.
Yes, but
not that I'm
not a drink, innit? So I'm not having one. That's why. Right, just very quickly then. DJ Prem results: Wolves 0, Man United 1, which is great because it has actually saved my bets, and I'm one of the few people who are glad that that Wickham scored yesterday because, of course, I always have my 3-1 bets on.
Does that help cover the Rock then?
Which no, that Rock was more money than I won. I only had flipping 20 pence on.
I was going to say you were buzzing when that last goal went in the 3-1.
I know you were saying.
So, but of course, it's not big and it's not clever betting on football. So, save your money.
We don't advocate it,
but a lot of people still do it.
And when the fun stops,
stop. Right then, just very quickly then, Patterson's performance in goal yesterday. He got the start because he had a cracking game against Blackpool. Dino, you're a massive Krista Birch fan. What did you think of Patterson in goal?
When he was called upon, he'd done what he needed to do. I didn't really remember him having a lot of saves to make. I remember when Akpafema hit one straight at him. But other than that, he was quite sound. But like I say, I don't really remember him having a lot of shots to save. I don't even know how many shots he actually had, but they didn't really do much. But he seemed competent enough. I mean, as long as you keep playing the way he is, you can't really put Lee Birch back in until Patterson either makes a massive mistake or
a mad mistake.
A mad mistake, or he just or he gets injured. So for now, keep Patterson in, and it's good to see another keeper challenging Lee Birch. I mean, that's what we've always missed, a little bit of a challenge. Like when we had Birch and McLaughlin, it was like Birch was challenging because at the time people were saying, Birch should go in before McLaughlin because McLaughlin was making loads of mistakes. And then Birch went in, had a good game, got injured, and then McLaughlin was back, and then McLaughlin was playing outstanding.
Did the world of good, didn't
it? It did. So maybe it might do Lee Birch a world of good, knowing that Patterson can't actually take his place now.
All right, fair enough. What about you?
Patterson, well, I think, to be honest, in a lot of games he's played, our defence has actually been quite strong. Funnily enough, he's not actually had a lot of deal with it. One thing I will point out against Blackpool, I know he did concede 2 goals. I don't think he could have done much about either of them.
The save, not long
but that save from when Jerry Yates
adjust his body at the back
turned, that was absolutely. We could see from the other end of the stadium, where the away end was. That was absolutely an outstanding save. He kept the clean sheet against Wimbledon yesterday. He was an unlucky deflection away from another clean sheet. Don't get us wrong, I'm not going to sit here and say he's like worked wonders or anything, but I think when he has had to be called upon and there's been something he can do, he's done it well. And I think I'll keep him in the team when or if Burge is back to return to the start 11. But one thing I will point out actually before the window shuts, I would still like to see us bring another keeper in, to be honest, just to give a bit of competition, because I'm not confident that Burge will see us through at the end of the season and be good enough. And I don't want to rely on just Patterson because he's a bit unproven.
Michael, Patterson yesterday, how did he do?
At the start of the game, I thought he looked a little bit anxious, a little bit nervy, but I think that's not just down to him. I think the whole team looked a little bit on edge. But I think as the game grew on, I think he did grow more confident. I do think his distribution needs to be worked on. There was a couple of times where I think he kicked it straight out of play. And Burge has done this a couple of times as well, actually. But it's like kicking it straight out of play towards for a throw-in. So it's a funny one. Change the background.
Just
the funny thing is, right, Patterson, this will probably be his first full season anywhere near first team level, I would imagine. If it's not, then certainly it is with Sunderland. So I do get Jack's point about wanting to bring another keeper. For me, it would have to be a keeper that is clearly well above League One level for me to need to bring in another keeper. But I mean, like I said, I've said it many times. We've said it to younger players. You've got this when we're in League One. This is your best chance to stake a claim for yourself among the first team. So with Patterson, I thought he did okay. But as the others have said, he didn't really have all that much to do. But I think a large part of that is that I thought defensively we were quite strong yesterday. So, and as we said with ourselves, the goal itself is just a deflection. That happens in football.
Just very quickly then, someone did mention anyway on the chat earlier about Patterson a couple of times. He should have come for the ball and didn't, and he held back. And well, other than that, he wasn't too bad. Looks like my wife's up out of bed. Thank you. Also, CONRAD says, why did one of the 3 Vs ignore the red and white shirt memo?
I wasn't told specifically to bring a red and white shirt.
You wasn't.
Just point to your crest.
I'm going to pass the buck to the leader of the V's.
All right, okay.
He's the leader of the pack, and you better watch your back.
Sure. Right, just very quickly, what I want to do then is it'll give us a chance to clear our throats. There's a quick 30-second message from me. Phil, are you ready? SAFC Fan TV would like to say a massive thank you to our sponsors, OneFootball, for supporting our channel. This is the only football app you will ever need. Every football fan should have it. You can follow your team, including all the news on Sunderland AFC. Keep up to date with all the players' latest stats. See how well they are doing throughout the season. To download this app, there is a link in the description below. Make sure you download that. And thanks again to OneFootball for your continued support of the channel.
And then he just lobbed it out.
Whoa! Up here! Way! Look at that!
We've not been here before.
We're so...
By the way, forget a flying carpet, a flying desk.
Whoa!
Flying studio.
Whoa! It's great being up here, top of the league.
Did I forget to mention I don't like heights?
Whoa, and we're on cloud 9. There you go. We just sat on it. Just comfortably.
Top of the league.
You've done that already, man.
Well, I don't care.
It wasn't funny the first time.
I don't care. Milking it. That's how long we're going to stay there.
Right, so here we are. We're dizzy heights. We're like, I don't like heights as well. I'm starting to wear.
Well, I don't mind it, mate. Like,
whoa.
Oh, is that what the Wanderers down there?
Yeah.
No, Michael, that's League 2, but that championship will be above us.
Yeah. Right. So we are actually top of the league.
We're at the
top of the league, looking down on Wigan.
Jack, you've been waiting for a chance to sing that, haven't you? You're singing it before we even started.
No. All right. Right. Let's get back to where we are. And back to you in the studio. Here we go.
In Wonderland.
Right then. I mean, you know me. I get carried away. Well, I mean, we interviewed somebody. Somebody said, somebody said it was the posh guy on there who we interviewed yesterday. What a lovely guy he was, actually. He is part of the royal family, actually. So, did you not see him on the fan cams?
Absolutely no idea what you're
All right, well, on the fan cams, you can check him out on part 2. So, and I was getting all excited, carried away, up by Easter and all this and what have you, as I do. But Streaky, as his nickname is. Do you think?
Don't be negative.
Do you think now? I'm not being negative. I'm up by Easter.
I think he was referring to me there.
So I'm gonna now. I mean, we are gonna chuck this at you.
More pre-warning to anyone. You know what I mean? No negativity.
So are we gonna? Is this it now? Because we've got a new team. Do you think Streaky's gonna lose that tag, or are we going through his good streak now? And somewhere. Around the corner.
Well, I'll tell you what then. How about we go through a good streak for the first 35 games of the season? We've already won the league, and then we can go through a bad streak. I don't care then.
Well, like we mentioned earlier, it seems like second half Sunderland. Maybe we've lost that now.
Well, you'd hope so. Well, you'd hope so. Although I did love it when you interviewed. Was it might have been Jake? I don't know. You interviewed someone. He asked like, "Oh, as I say,
was that kid from down south?
Possibly,
Arsenal
yeah,
fan?
possibly. Yeah, possibly.
All right, no, yeah.
Hey, you're not allowed to say that, that's bullying.
Oh, yeah.
The posh son, one
So
of
stupid.
the posh Sunderland fans, classy. You asked him, I think, whether this was the year for top two, and my response is pretty much, my thoughts on that is pretty much exactly the same as Jacob's. Even though it is only 5 games in, I'm not gonna. But I can't help but get a little bit hyped looking at it. We are top of the league, and the sad thing is, and we said this before coming on there as well. This is the first time that we've been top of the league since we've come down to League One when everyone's played the same amount of games, because we did when we played Charlton our first game down here. Obviously, we were top of the league then. But
Top of the league. Oh,
yeah.
Phil. It's getting boring now.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Should I put that one on there with that naked lady? All right.
I know Karen's still in good shape.
But I mean, yeah, we were top after that Charlton game, but by default of nobody else playing. But the best way I look at it, right, is the amount of wins that you need to get automatic promotion. How many points do you think that you probably need to finish in the top 2? I would say maybe about 90 points. Maybe you could get away with just under.
Yeah,
So-
probably about 92. Like,
I would say that of 46 league games, try and aim for 30 wins. I know we're probably not going to get 30 wins, but that's what you want to try and go for. So the way I've looked at it is 5 games in, we've already got 4 of those wins. So in the remaining 41 games, try and go for 26 wins.
Carol Vorderman over here, like.
Yeah. Aye. I'll have a pee, please, Bob. Oh, that was the wrong programme, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm
Right,
not going to know that, man.
right, we
I'll have 2
got,
from the top, 1 from the bottom.
Moving on.
we've got 90 likes. We do like to
The
try and
amount
hit,
of points we're going to get this season.
we're trying to hit 100 likes as we do on a Sunday. 151 people on the
Michael.
stream already. Somebody's put in the comment. I'm going to sort of jump forward. I've got other things to come back to. Saying Isaac Green there says it's a shame we won't be first next week because of the internationals.
You never know.
So
If
he's
results going off here, we could
he's
still be.
referring to the Sheffield Wednesday game being postponed, which if you don't know already, due to play Sheffield Wednesday next Saturday away, the 4th of September. But because of international duties, it has been postponed. Good and bad points. The good point is it'll be played midweek, which means me and Karen should get to have a road trip. She'll be watching that now. She'll be in the...
She'll be enthusiastic, I'm sure.
To be fair, when we drew Wigan in the cup and that, I said, we'll go to Wigan. I thought she was going to go, and she went, she's up for it. Is it a good thing or a bad thing, Jack? You know, I mean, we've got a bit of depth in the squad now. Should we not just play it? I know it's not always just down to us because Sheffield Wednesday.
Just quickly interrupt, Kaz has responded.
Has she? Oh, what is that? That means
Whatever,
FFS.
I'll have to look it up on that internet.
Yes, we will. Let's say it was down to us that it was being postponed and not Sheffield Wednesday. Should we not play it, keep this momentum going and stuff like that? Or
We've had a lot of players called up in national duty. I mean, Callum
Key
Doyle,
players as well.
Callum Doyle, we know how important he is to the squad. Huggins,
Evans.
if he was going to be back, I assume he'd make a backup right back to Winchester most likely. He's been called up to take it to Bulgaria's youth team.
Evans, Broadhead,
Corey Evans,
Maidenhead.
Broad had been called up as well. You know, there's
Broadband.
plenty of players that are unavailable. And to be honest with you, I think if I can move the fixture to another time, we've just got more players available and do it. To be honest with you, I think I'm more happy to let the club make their own decision based off of what they think. Callum Doyle is the big one for me. Like, I think he's really, really important to not only the way we defend, but the way we go forward and play out from the back as well. I think I'm happy for the club to make their mind up, but I don't envy them at all.
I do think that
if it was our decision, that is. I mean, I'm sure Sheffield Wednesday have had just as much.
Well, Sheffield wanted to play the game, I think, but I think if it was against like teams that are going to, you would think are going to be lower down the bottom end of the league, I think I'd be more inclined to want to play it. But I think for this particular game, and I'm usually, by the way, I'll make it clear, I'm not a big fan of postponing games because but what my issue would be is if we stupidly rearrange this for end of April and we keep on having these games in hand and we keep building fixtures up and we do
end of April.
End of April, fine, March, wherever, and towards the end of the season. That's when we tend to rearrange our
Yeah,
games.
if you can do it at a smarter time when you've not got loads of midweek games and it just
The
comes.
best time would be, I've said this, is when, if say us and Sheffield go out the FA Cup straight away, there's an opening at the first weekend of December when that's the second round. So if we're both out the cup, which obviously we don't know, we won't know till start November, play it then. But my point was going to be, for this particular game, I think Sheffield will be up there. And I think I want to have our best players for that sort of game, for a game it is a big game. So I can see how people be frustrated, but I don't mind with
Right, okay. Can I just mention Marcus Madison?
Is this because
someone said?
Is this to annoy
Oh, sorry about that. I think Marcus nice here. No one mentioned Marcus Madison.
He's ruined it.
Right. Well, what I would normally do, I would normally ask Michael for the stats on this, but Michael's, to be fair, let us down.
I've got off the
let us
boil,
down badly. So
Thane's taking me title, to be fair.
Thane, let us know what this. Thane's put players Huggins, Serkin, Evans, Broadhead all called up, right?
Serkin, another one.
But the thing is, right,
that would then mean
is I'd be curious to know what other players are going to be called up on there as well. Because if Sheffield did want to play it, here we are. We've got this momentum going now. We're on this winning run. We've got players who could, if they're out, right, you know, we got players who could come in and we should still play this whilst we're on Jack.
Can I just point out that if Serkin and Huggins have both been called up to their respective national squads, that means you've got to have Naylor Winchester at full back, which means that you've then got to play
something away from the midfield.
Exactly. You know? And Evans isn't there to then come in. So you're looking at your midfield options. You probably only really got, 09, Embleton and Pritchard against the side where, let's be fair, we're probably not going to end up dominating the game because it's one of the better teams in the league. There's a real lack of steel and defensive stability in that midfield. So I think when you look at it like that and you can break it down and see specifically which players have been brought up, I don't think the squad would then be strong enough to go into that game with 100% confidence around a win.
See,
now that I've picked up
this is the problem. Last season, and the season before, when we had the internationals, there was only the likes of Flanagan and maybe Grigg who were going to be missing.
And Grigg's rubbish anyway.
And like Grigg wasn't even starting forward back then because it was obviously Charlie White, but
Charlie who?
Or whoever.
Charlie White.
And scored a goal.
Charlie no goals.
But whoever else, there was only like two of them. Whereas this time there's been 4, 5 or 6 players on international. Whereas the last couple of seasons it's been like 2.
Yeah.
So if we've got 6 players out, then 100% postponing because we need them players. They're important players. Whereas other players weren't really important the last season. So that's why I was a bit angry a couple of seasons ago, saying why we're calling it off. It's only Flanagan who doesn't really play anyway, and Grigg who doesn't play anyway.
John McLaughlin, I think, a lot of the time as well.
Not last season. John McLaughlin didn't.
Oh, right.
I was going to say last season. I mean, the thing is, if you look at the centre backs as well, like Doyle's called up now. That means that it probably would be Flanagan and Bailey Wright, I would assume, or even Alves. I don't know, against like say Sheffield if the game didn't get postponed. But Doyle, I think, is technically our best centre back from what I've watched
defender,
this season.
I think.
Yeah, and I think him being missing. I don't mind Bailey Wright, and Tom Flanagan's done really well.
Agreed.
But I think Callum Doyle, in terms of technical ability, composure, everything, he's a level above them, and I just wouldn't want to be missing him for a game against a team that's going to be up there.
I think him and Flanagan work really well together because you've got Doyle, who is exceptional on the ball and a brilliant defender, but then he's also kind of prone, I think, that like maybe he's not quite knowing when to go, when to stay, because he's only 17.
But exactly, for 17
whereas
weeks,
Flanagan,
for 17 we expect him to make mistakes.
Whereas Flanagan's 28, 29, like in the prime years of his career, he's really experienced across the back four. And I think his experience aids with it. And to be fair, I think Flanagan's been one of our really strong players this season, especially defensive.
Yeah, Robert Foster made a very good point where he's just Robert Forster. Sorry, I always get them mixed up. He said. I
went Michael.
I know. Anyway, he said if you play it and lose, people would say we should have called it off. The club can't win. It's a very, very fair, valid point. Yeah. I think the issue itself for me isn't calling the game off. It's when it's going to be rearranged.
I think it's down to who gets called up. And when you look at the only 2 actual fullbacks we've got in the squad being called up, that means Winchester and Nail have to play at fullback. Doyle's out. That then means you're going to have probably Flanagan and Wright. That doesn't look as anywhere near as strong a defence as it could be. And you've got the midfield in front of that. And I don't think you've got any midfield that can kind of play the holding role a little bit. So.
Did you? I mean, Blackpool. Blackpool wasn't our first team,
but it wasn't their first team either by any stretch.
But we just looked good. Anyway, just quickly. I mean,
well, what's your thoughts?
It's 2 week. Well, 2 week break, but for me, I wouldn't break the momentum. It could you know.
But
But
we don't know until we break.
well, the thing is you can't win either way, because if they lost it, it's the wrong thing to do, you know. And I want to give a shout out. I missed it earlier. I meant to do it earlier, but somebody said sort of doing a great job. And hats off to Tommy. If we had hats on, anybody who's got a hat on the panel, if you want to take it off.
Nope.
Oh, Dino never takes his hat off. How about beer sport, Dino?
Come on, Dino.
Hats off to Tommy, who did the live commentary for us yesterday. So did a great job.
Getting the news in, isn't he?
He is.
Really
He is doing really well. So then, right, what I want to ask you then is, for me, the man of the match yesterday, and I know it was a good team performance, but I thought Winchester was just absolutely so brilliant. Do we just play him as right back then? You know, even though, you know, we brought in, I mean, Huggins, who can play either side, and that's Alves, who can play at the back. Jack?
I was wanting, I mean, obviously, I know we both went down to Blackpool. I mean, in separate cars, because you couldn't sort us out, but, you know.
Throwing you under the bus.
Can't say, yeah.
I think with Winchester played in the midfield, and as much as I've been really impressed by Winchester at fullback this season, I thought he was absolutely exceptional in the middle of midfield as well. Him and Embleton together ran. And
I just need to quickly jump in here. DJ Earth, you are at risk of losing your spot if you make comments like that again. Anyone going to see Elton John next year? Sorry.
That one's went over my head.
Well, we're talking football, and he's just piping up with anyone going to see Elton John.
Oh, right.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I understand that. Right. Anyway, you've cut off before. Anyway, I thought Winchester was really good in the middle, like a valuable asset in the middle. And then I also thought Huggins at right back. And to be fair, it's probably just because he's got inexperience. But I think when you look at the first goal, he was very far out of position. And then that video of Patterson making an incredible save, I really don't want to be negative, but you look at Huggins just done by Jerry. It's far too easily. Looked as if it was men against boys. And I just think, you know, that's the only thing we've really got to go off him so far is that game against Blackpool. Would you be confident playing him right back and dropping Winchester?
But do you not think Huggins in the first half, it's sort of Huggins tired, like second half? I thought Huggins had a really decent first half, and he was bombing up the...
Those two incidents removed, I thought he actually had a decent game. He looks quick. He looks like he's got something about him, but I don't know. I would love to see Winchester in midfield because of how good he was against Blackpool, but I think he's probably better for right back at the minute. Like, unless we sign another one.
Michael, would you just keep Winchester? I mean, it's hard to drop Winchester at the moment, and you know, so would you keep him right back? But I mean, to be fair, Blackpool when they moved Winchester in the middle. You know, he had a cracking game, an absolutely cracking game.
Well, the first thing to point out, this is the conundrum we want to have.
It's brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant.
We want to be saying, well, if he's there, then you're taking something away from him there, and whatever else it is. At the minute, yeah, I would keep Winchester at right back because even though obviously against Blackpool, I mean, I didn't watch the game, so you know, Phil and Jack will have to fill people in on that. But I mean, in general, sense at right back. Oh, let me just, no.
In the arm.
Yeah,
do the Luke on 9.
I mean, you never know. That punch in the arm might have really hurt him, might have done.
I know. It's not a red card. It's not a red card. According to League One officials. Either way, I mean, with Winchester, I mean, the problem is, say Corey Evans comes back, you want him in the midfield. So I think he quietly sort of controls the midfield. He does the stuff that people don't appreciate as much. Well, I would say don't appreciate. They've noticed it a bit, but you've got him in there. You've got 09 who wants to play there. So I mean, to answer your question, yeah, I mean, at the minute. You wouldn't drop Winchester. I don't think any reason. I agree with you. I think he was probably just slightly my pick for man of the match yesterday. Right. But it's one of many. I mean, we're supposed to be getting Robert Forster has just said we were bringing in a right back from Arsenal.
I wouldn't mind seeing another one getting brought in.
Right. So okay then. Well, just very quickly, Jack Forster. Oh, sorry, got that wrong. Jack Foster. Apparently, Winchester's been solid every game this season. Yeah, he's doing well. There's no reason
wherever he's playing
to move him. So, Dino, what would you do with Winchester?
I mean, we brought Huggins in for a reason, so you've got to give him a chance. So maybe chuck Huggins in to put Winchester in the middle.
And who comes out in the middle then?
I know.
That's just
well. Do you not think it changes game by game? Dan Nail's probably someone you might win the game where you're going forward a bit more. Winchester, if you have to defend a little bit more.
Bear in mind, you're still going to have cup games as well. We're still in the League Cup.
I'm mostly as well, I don't want to like write Huggins off. I'm just saying, out of the one game I have watched him, I don't think he was like.
No, but it's also coupled.
Solid.
It's also coupled with the fact that Winchester have been one of our best performers.
Yeah,
so far this
exactly.
season.
And I think if you're going to put Winchester in midfield, you think of Huggins at right back, and I don't think that's, in my opinion, that's not.
Can I just say,
decision.
if you remember Jan Kirchhoff's first ever game, look how he turned.
Yeah,
out.
fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So like for me, I mean, Winchester looks like he's just playing full of confidence now.
Yeah.
He looks fit. He doesn't look like there's any, because he was injured most of last season, and he just looks like he's enjoying his football, even though he's not a right back. I mean, I'd like to see him in the middle, mate. I think he's a better right back than what Luke O'Nien was when Luke O'Nien was playing right back. But I mean, you've got a right back there in Huggins who is supposedly going to be a good player. You stick him in there, and like you say, you've got a conundrum. Who do you drop, Dan Neil or Luke O'Nien? Maybe bring Luke O'Nien out and see what Winchester can do, because I think Dan Neil at the minute is playing really, really well, and Dan Neil's 19 years old, and it's his time to shine. He's shining. He really, really is. I think he's been fresh of breath.
He's got Dan Neil.
Fresh of breath.
Just very quickly then, Gary Penny there says Huggins is more of a left back than a right.
He's right footed.
Well, I'm sure he was signed as a left back, but who can play right back?
That's right. He's right footed though. So.
Maybe I'm wrong. I apparently he can play both full-back
Didn't the club
positions.
note when they put the tweet out that said we've signed versatile? I thought
He just right or left apparently. But
apparently can play both full-back positions.
right, okay, fair enough. We touched on it there. Then the transfer window closes this week. Oh, by the way, 107 likes. So thanks, Chula, for hitting that. Transfer window closes this week. Do we need anybody else? We mentioned on Thursday that's everybody's been screaming out for a striker, and there was O'Brien got a hat trick at Blackpool. So. Do we need anybody, or are we okay? Does it really matter if we don't sign anybody? Keep it brief, Michael, because we've not a lot of time.
I still think we could do with another. Well, obviously, if you get this Arsenal right back, I'd like to see another winger to give McGeady a huge competition, because McGeady hasn't been on top form. And while Gooch, I thought more at patches yesterday was all right. I think we need to keep standards up there. I would like to see another striker as well. But I mean, we haven't even talked briefly, but obviously there's rumours Griggs going to Doncaster. So say if that happens, we definitely need another. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. If that happens, definitely we need another striker. I know Jack's point about the keeper. For me, we could probably do it as long as if it's a really good level goalkeeper. Yes, but if not, then I think other positions I'd be strengthening ahead of that.
Okay, fair enough. Just very quickly before we move this along, Harry Lamb apparently is our newest member. Come on, round of applause for Harry. Thank you very much. Still a chance to join as a member if you'd like to. It's $1.99 a month. All contributions gratefully accepted and will help us grow the channel and create better content. It's less than 50p a week, and it does give you access to members only material, and you get your little badge as well. So Dino, do we need to bring anybody in?
Yeah, two strikers.
Two
wingers. Two wingers and a striker. That would be my preference, to be fair.
Right, fair enough. Jack?
I think I'd look to bring one more winger in that can really challenge Gooch and McGeady for a first team spot.
Challenge or overtake, ideally.
Yeah, push them at the very least, because I don't really think they've got anyone else who can challenge them. And apart from that, if you can sign anyone else, I think probably a keeper, a right back, or a striker. But I think, to be honest, the only one that I think we could really, really do with is a winger. I think we get by for the rest of the season without signing else. Apart from that.
Thing is, as well, injuries happen as well. We tend to have bad luck with injuries historically.
All right, fair enough.
Anyone you'd sign in? Anyone you bring in?
I think we're. I mean, somebody comes in, I'm not going to. I'm not going to turn it down. But the thing is I like the way the club are doing business now, where they're saying they're going for a certain player, and if they can't get him, they're not settling for second best. I think Lee Johnson said would rather wait to maybe January. If they don't get the player they want, wait till January and see if they can get them then. And this is the policy that they're doing, rather than going. I mean, we all remember, the Will Grigg scenario on the documentary, where knee-jerk reaction, let's get him in. And look at that panned out.
Yeah,
So,
well, hopefully next time I'll do a show. He's not yet. One thing I will quickly say just on that is that the one thing I'm really encouraged by is that the reaction of the fans of clubs we've signed these players from, where a lot of them go, "Oh, he could play in the like say Alves." I heard a West Ham fan say should be playing in the Championship. Callum Doyle, oh, really, really good. Huggins disappointed he's left. Cirkin as well. Tottenham fans were really upset that he's left.
When we signed Greg, we're like, yes.
Every
time we signed anyone before this season, it was like, oh, thank God they're gone.
Well, I think historically what we've always done is just signed whoever without even really looking at them, and then 3 years down the line, you've got a player that doesn't really fit into the squad or any of the other players or the manager's system or anything, just kind of taking it away and just trying to get rid of them.
Exactly, and not to mention because sorry, Phil, I know you want to wrap it up, but
well, I am.
Well, yeah,
one to wrap it up for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing in a way,
let's keep going, Michael.
Because we were supposed to have an EFL Trophy game on Tuesday. We were supposed to be playing Man United's under 23s, 21s, whatever it was, and that was postponed. But point was going to be the next.
Let's all tell our favorite memory of last season.
Yeah, sure, why not? The point was that the next few days, we've got the next few days to focus solely on the transfer window. It's going to be training for the next 2 weeks, so let's just see who we bring in and then go from there. There you go.
Thank you very much. Shout out to John Hunter on the chat. Forgot it starts at 6 p.m. again.
Let's go back and
watch well, there you go. You can watch us there. You can watch it back. Right. Loads of stuff we didn't get a chance to mention anyway. But what I do want to say, on behalf of all the team down here, I want to say good luck to Conrad and Catherine, whose baby is due like hopefully sort of now. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
So listen, we're all thinking of you, and when Junior comes along, it's going to be great times for you. So good luck with all that. Hope everything goes all right to Conrad and Catherine.
Just saying the lasses there. Some of the ladies played today and won their first game.
Very good.
So good to see.
Right, okay. Well done to the ladies. Don't forget, of course, if you want to join our team, send us an email, SAFC Fan TV 73@gmail.com. If you think you could do the match reviews for us, which we can put on our channel. We would normally review the next game coming up, which should have been Man United on Tuesday, but isn't, because that's postponed. And then we would have looked towards Sheffield Wednesday, which isn't, that's postponed. Oh. So it's going to be Accrington Stanley. Who are they?
Oh, no, someone had to say it, didn't they?
Exactly. on 9/11. Oh, sorry. 11/9 hits you in this country. So that just about wraps it up from myself, Philly, from Michael Bowers. Say bye.
Au revoir.
Just because you can swear it doesn't mean you can.
That's the worldwide language now.
Yeah. Just making words up.
Dino, say bye.
Goodbye in French.
Do that with your hat, like
goodbye.
You know. Do that. Right. And Jack, say bye.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you on Thursday. I think we'll be doing a transfer special then. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. SAFC have teamed up with our sponsors, OneFootball. This is a superb football app and the only app any football fan will need. You can keep bang up to date with all the latest news coming out of your club. Transfer news when the transfer windows are open, see where you stand in the league. All the league tables are on there. Any information you need regarding football is in the app. You can download it for free via the link in the description. Do it now. And once again, thanks to OneFootball for sponsoring SAFC Fan TV.